What's up, everybody? Beltendo back again to give you another list of 10 of Hulk Hogan's greatest lies and most ridiculous lies. What up? Holla at your boy. It is easy to do this because there's been so many. I've already made 3 videos, 10 lies each, and threw a couple in there to pepper it around. So I'm probably at about 35 lies, but hey, I mean, the train doesn't stop here. When Hulkamania is rolling through, it's all bullshit. So, let's get rolling. And let's see what lies we're going to get into today. Hulk Hogan claims that he batted a .714 in the Little League World Series. Now, interesting enough, a .714 is beyond superstardom in Major League Baseball. Little leagues, you know, you might get a little higher. You have a really good batter, a solid stroker. He might get out there, but according to the Little League, they have no record of Terry Bollea ever playing in the Little League World Series. It never happened. His claims, and they also have said that no one has even gotten close to a .714 in the Little League World Series. So he is, they have completely discredited him on that one. So we're going to get into line number 2 today, which is he claims Layla Ali, daughter of Muhammad Ali, called him when he was about to commit suicide and had a gun in his mouth or to the side of his head, depending on when he's telling the story. Sometimes it was in his mouth, sometimes he was just holding it up to his head. And claims Layla Ali called him and she talked him out of committing suicide. Layla Ali has said that she has never called Hogan and doesn't have his number because she was asked about it. And that's what's so great about all the lies of Hulk Hogan, is that they're so easy to disprove. So easy. So what you gonna do when the nonstop lie train runs wild on you, brother? So we're gonna move to number 3. Man, I really need to fix the colors on this video. Look how pale I am. I know that motherfucker is kind of orange and he's got a whole lot of extra tannin, but with these lights and, you know, the colors on my filter, man, I am looking pale. And I'm not a pale guy. I'm an Italian that's originally from New Orleans, and I darken up well in the summertime. You know, down in New Orleans, we are tropical people. We like it warm. We always out in the sunshine. But I look really pale right now. That's crazy. I'm just looking at myself in the monitor, and I'm like, holy moly. Maybe it's the lights. We'll do something about that. Okay, so we're going to move on to Hulk Hogan has a lot, and I mean an excessive amount of lies about people who passed away. Claims to have run into Randy Savage right before Randy died, like a week before, which I've gone over already, and that they patched everything up and they were best friends when he passed. Same thing with Roddy Piper. Same thing with the Ultimate Warrior. Claims he sat next to Kerry Von Erich 72 hours before he committed suicide. So it's really weird how Hogan inserts himself into every story, especially when people die. Like, dude, that's not okay. But this one is, he claims the wrestler Chris Kanyon would call him all the time about it and talk to him about how depressed he was and about his sexuality and how he couldn't be who he really was right before and up until he committed suicide. Dude, stop inserting yourself into people's deaths. Not only are your lies ridiculous to begin with, but that shit is creepy and weird, and if it was my family member, I would go to war on you. Like, I would not shut up to any media outlet ever how you were lying to involve yourself for some kind of clout points in my family member's death. Dude, it's disgusting. Number 5 is he actually claims that he... Oh, I skipped number 4. Claims that he is actually the one that told Bret Hart that Owen Hart had fallen and died. And that is completely untrue. Bret Hart has discredited that. It wasn't Hogan, but he did get a phone call while he was on a plane, and he said that's the worst possible place to get a phone call like that, because you can't pace, you can't do anything. You have to sit in a seat for 5 more hours and not move. And anyway, nope, it wasn't Hogan that told him. Hogan also claims, while we're talking about Bret the Hitman Hart, that he came up with the best there is, best there was, best there ever will be catchphrase that Bret Hart heard him say it and stole it from him. Bret Hart has repeatedly said that's a lie. I like Bret Hart. I think he's a fantastic wrestler, one of the best technical wrestlers ever. And he's not really known for bullshitting. So I'm going to believe Bret Hart on this stuff. He claims, this is number 6, and this is one of the funny ones, and not the tragic lies he tells. And he also tells very harmful lies. He claims that he sweated so much during his title reigns and touring and all of that, that he would sweat through the belts, and Vince would have to buy him new ones. And during his many title reigns in the WWF, that Vince bought him 10 replacement belts a month. And if you add up all the time he was champion, that would be well over 600 belts. So where are these 600 belts? Hogan, where are they? He probably got one replacement and made that up. Much like his Andre the Giant Slam story, changes and evolves every time. There's more people in attendance. Andre weighed more. He ripped more muscles in his back. It gets bigger every time he tells it. And I think the 10 belts a month thing is probably one of those things where there was a little kernel of truth. At one point, one of the belts got worn out and Vince replaced it. And now he had 10 a month. Okay. Number 7. And I consider this actually one of those harmful Hogan lies. He claims he saw Andre fill a bathtub with shit. That Andre the Giant shit in a hotel bathtub and filled it up. And we're not talking, like, he was, like, his statement was, all the way to the taps, brother. No. Not even Andre could do that. And like I said, I think this is one of those harmful lies, because it really tries to damage Andre's reputation. Andre was widely known as a good guy who would do business with almost anyone. For those of you that don't know the inside wrestling terminology, do business means you are willing to lose to someone and help make them look good. Andre, if he liked you, he was happy to do business. He even did business with people he was not happy about doing business with, but he did it for the business. So Andre was a honest and earnest individual, and yeah, so stop besmirching Andre's reputation. Number 8, he claims that him and Vince McMahon were going to buy the UFC at one point, and that he talked Vince out of it. Again, this is one of those things where there's this weird little kernel of partial truth in there, and that is the consideration was for Vince to buy UFC many years ago. They were going through a lot of PR problems, and Shane McMahon tried to talk Vince into buying UFC, and Vince didn't want to, and they have both stated that Hogan was in no way involved in that deal. But apparently it was his deal, and Vince was there, and he talked Vince out of it because he changed his mind. So just another, the world's biggest little man's bullshits. Now we're moving on to number 9, which is, he claims that he was banned from the David Letterman show because he stopped David Letterman from hitting on a pregnant Linda, his wife, backstage. The truth of the matter is, Letterman denied that ever happened, and if he was banned, why did he appear on the Letterman show with David Letterman 7 times after that over the years? So, Hogan, you're a liar, once again. Okay, and number 10, again, is one of those harmful lies. He heavily implied, because okay, so, you know, if you want to, whatever, no political bullshit or whatever, but Hogan went straight anti-vax for a while there during the pandemic, and he implied that both Bob Saget and Betty White died from getting the vaccine in an interview. Bob Saget fell and hit his head on a bathroom sink and suffered from a massive head injury and died on a hotel bathroom floor from hitting his head on the sink. Betty White was literally 3 months away from being 100 years old and had a stroke. How could you even consider either one of these things had to do with the vaccine? Even people that don't believe in the vaccine think that that is an insane thing to say, that 100-year-old Betty White died because she got a vaccine, or that Bob Saget, who I don't want to say if he overdosed or not, because if he had drugs in his system or not. He was known for partying like that, but at the same time, I don't know if he was at that time. He might have been clean, but he fell and cracked his head open on a sink. It has nothing to do with a vaccine. That's insane. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me for another of Why Does Hulk Hogan Lie So Much? And, you know, the next time I do one of these, maybe we won't do a top 10 list of Hogan lying. Maybe what we'll do is actually discuss why we think he lies so much. So, I think that would be a good place to go with it. So, everybody, thank you. Like and subscribe. That helps. It helps the channel. And I appreciate it.